Hey everyone, it's Rachel, Oracle Spiritual Healer and Teacher. And today I'm going to look at November's full moon. And for those of you that are new here or don't know, I always take a look at the Sidereal astrology or Vedic astrology instead of the Western or tropical astrology. The reason I do that is because it is more in alignment with my work. Tropical astrology is really great for looking at what you came into this life with, or sidereal astrology takes a look at the potential you have to go, right? The potential of your higher self, the potential of what you can realize this lifetime. And that's what my work's about, right? Bringing people into self-realization, helping them get to that place. So that's why I work with the sidereal chart instead of the tropical chart. Sometimes they coincide because the tropical astrology is about 5 degrees off. So you may or may not be the same sun sign and moon sign in your natal chart and all the other, aspects of your natal chart, or you might be. So if you're not certain or you've never done Vedic astrology or sidereal astrology, I highly recommend it. Especially if you were like me, you got your Western chart, natal chart done, and you're like, well, this isn't me. Like some of it's right, but some of it's like not at all right. And you're like, oh, what is this astrology stuff? So if you've had that experience like I did, try a different form of astrology and it might resonate more with you. Okay, so November. November's full moon is the biggest full moon of the year. It's a super moon. It is the biggest super moon of the year. It's going to appear almost 8% larger and be 16% brighter. And this full moon is in Sidereal Aries. And I've written down what was coming through, and I'm going to pull some cards as well. So it's a powerful full moon, infusing us with the energy and desire to step out and move forward. Aries is the energy of power, independence, stubbornness, but think of like the positive sides of stubbornness, like tenacity, right? Don't give up, you just keep going. And then also the energy of leadership. It's being inspired to move on, move forward in the direction of your truth, regardless of if that's what other people are doing. This is important, and I talked about this in the energy message for the month, because doing your truth, sharing yourself in an authentic way with the world, will help move things forward. It'll help to quicken the timeline. It'll help make everything easier as we shift, change, and transition, which will then help the collective, right? Start to shift into this positive direction. So out with the old, in with the new, in the best possible way. And so, younger people are going to resonate with that more because this is a little side note, because younger people are bringing in different frequencies, new energy. They have less baggage, less karmic baggage they have to work through before they can start doing what they're actually really here to do. Older generations have more. And again, this is just sort of the period in Earth cycles that we're in. We're on this rise into higher consciousness. And so each generation after the next are bringing in higher consciousness. So especially if you're, a baby boomer or older, and you're not necessarily resonating with what younger people are saying or doing, to see if you can get to a place of understanding what they're saying, even if you're not sure, well, how that would ever work, right? Like, well, how's that ever going to happen? Like, that's not what it's about, because we're envisioning a new way of living. And as we envision a new way of living, that means it's going to work differently because we're more open and willing to try different things. So if you can just get yourself to a place of understanding and supporting, in whatever way is available for you, the vision of younger people, right? And it's not that everyone younger has this vision, but younger people or people who are helping to move things forward. Like I'm one of those people that is helping to move things forward through my work, right? Through my oracle work, my spiritual healing work. Younger people, generally speaking, are also here to shift things forward into higher consciousness. So, strain within our systems, so government systems and systems stemming from the government, but also you can think of companies and corporations that are holding hard onto old ways and old ways of like old thinking. Oh gosh, I missed a part. Yeah, so strain within those systems. It's not working, and it won't all of a sudden start to work until people wake up and start operating differently. And this is the key here. There are still some people sort of holding on to this idea of, well, like for example, in politics, well, once we get through this cycle, things will get fixed. Yes, and the whole system needs to be reorganized around it. Like every facet of it. The mayoral race in New York City is a wonderful example. Mom Donnie said the other day on, I think, Jon Stewart, he was asked why, something to the effect of, it seems like everyone's been out against you. You just got the Democratic endorsement, 24 hours ago. What do you think that's saying? And Mom Donnie had this wonderful answer in that, well, it's showing that endorsements don't secure the election, right? Like people in power aren't deciding who's being elected. People are taking their power back and making the choice for themselves. And so we're seeing that in New York City, right? But we're going to start seeing that more and more and more because that's exactly what it's about. It's about us taking our power back and not letting a select few people make all the decisions. All the decisions for us, because that's what's got us here. So shifts are happening on a global scale. They're saying don't be fooled by what you see on the surface. People and organizations in power are trying to play it cool to appear as if they have everything in control, but they don't. This sort of deception, manipulation, coercion will continue from those in power until so much is exposed that they no longer, can hide behind a facade. Right? There's no leg they can stand on. There's nowhere they can hide. As always, let the energy of this portal, the full moon, work on you. And for this month, let it inspire you into positive action, into leadership for yourself, which will then turn into positive action and leadership for the collective. So let's see what cards come through for the full moon in Aries. There we go. Leadership. So, with that, I'm very certain Mom Donnie's going to win the election. All the polls say so, but energetically, I've seen that for a long time. But what's going to happen is it's going to inspire other people, not conventional politicians to start running more and more. Because, New York City, whether you like the place or not, is a leader. The community is a community of leadership. A lot of things happen there first and then trickle into other parts of the country. And so here it is happening on this type of scale, right? On sort of, governmental platform, the shift. Life force energy, that's the inspiration, the energy we're going to feel to move forward. Go with it. Don't hesitate. Don't deny it. Go in the flow of that life, because it's taking us to where we want to be. Closer and closer, bit by bit. Yep. Focus on it. Don't get distracted. I mentioned that in the monthly reading. Don't let yourself get distracted. Stay focused. Yeah, and go into that flow. Like I just said, the flow of that life force. Okay, next deck. The other thing with that flow card, again, is like, the trajectory everything on is, there's no way we can turn back or turn, the ship around. It's going where it's going. Enlightenment. That's us waking up more and more, seeing things as it truly is, getting clarity within ourselves, and then, so then understanding what we actually need to build, what actually needs, what our healthcare system actually should look like, how we should be treated as human beings on this earth, how we want to engage with the government, what government looks like, what does our education system look like, how is it going to be most beneficial for our children, and then helping them to grow into these healthy adults. It's all of it. It's all of it. Oof. Growth. We're growing. People, we're growing together. That's a beautiful thing. This is about being generous with your neighbors, with people that in your community, understanding them, giving them sort of the benefit of the doubt, just knowing everyone's going through different things. Everyone's handling everything in a different way. And so there's still a lot of fear in a lot of people. There's still a lot of trying to hold on to control, right? And when we do that, it's because we're afraid. We're afraid of losing control and what might happen if we lose control. So it's being generous with each other. Okay, last deck. Soul family. So yes, this also came up in the monthly forecast, is as we take action, this inspired action, going towards our truth, it's bringing us closer to the people that we're like, that's really our community, like our soul connections, whether it's literally our soul family or not, or we just feel like, yeah, we get each other, like we want to create something together. So we're finding more and more of our people, our tribe, our community. Safe spaces, finding those, knowing where they are, knowing who's safe to be around, events that feel safe and nourishing. Yeah. And watching your words. That has to do with just how we talk about things. So again, like for the month, I mentioned this too, but in a different way. Coming to a place of understanding people who are not like us, who make different choices than us, because that's really the path of peace. And so watching our words about how we talk about people, about the decisions they make, because we can't ever fully understand why someone makes the choice they make. But we don't really need to. We just have to come to a place of acceptance. And so being very mindful of how we talk about people that we don't agree with, or that are making choices that we would maybe not make ourselves. All of that matters. It all matters. All right, that's our full moon reading for today. And I'll see you all later. Thank you. Bye.